Good morning, everybody. This is your 2-minute warning, so please get comfortable, get some food, and we'll get started here in just a few. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Thank you so much for coming. I would, this time, I'd be honored if you'd all join me in prayer. Thank you. Dear Lord, as we gather here this morning for this great fellowship, I'm reminded of your holy scriptures in the 21st chapter of John, verses 15, 16, and 17. It goes like this. So when they had dined, Jesus said to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? And Simon said, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And Jesus said, Feed my lambs. Then Jesus said to him again for the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? And he saith to him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. And Jesus said, Feed my sheep. Then he said to him a third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he said unto him a third time, Lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things. Thou knowest that I love thee. And then Jesus said to him, Feed my sheep. Lord, bless these people who have come with warm hearts, and some from great distances early this morning to feed your sheep, to help the broken, to bring hope to those struggling, to hear the cries of the lost, and to lift up and love the forgotten. That as we all join together with one heart and divine purpose, we honor you, Lord, to carry out your request, to be beacons of hope across our state. So when you tell us to feed my sheep, we will humbly and purposely heed your charge. Amen.
In case you hadn't seen that slide, that was the Reverend Kirk Pearson. Some of you know him as former state senator Kirk Pearson. I know him as a good friend and our VP of External Affairs. Glorious morning to us all. My name is Dr. Steve Woodard, and I am the Vice President of Community Engagement for Volunteers of America, Western Washington. And I have the esteemed honor of serving as your MC and storyteller this morning for what promises to be a meaningful and inspiring start to your day. Please, if you haven't already, silence your very personalized computers. And for you really fancy people, your cell phones that it rings to. We appreciate that. To keep us moving forward, we'll take a moment here to acknowledge that Volunteers of America, Western Washington is on the ancestral lands of the Coast Salish peoples, particularly the Tulalip, Snohomish, Stillaguamish, and Sauk Suoodle. These tribes and nations ceded millions of acres of land in exchange for a small amount of money and permanent protection from the United States government under the Treaty of Point Elliott in 1855. This treaty preserved the right of Native people to retain their fishing, hunting, and gathering rights, and it remains as relevant today as it did the day it was signed. Our responsibility to recognize the injustices of colonization, stolen land, forced assimilation, dispersion, violence, is the foundation of a pledge to address enduring trauma by becoming better allies to our tribal communities. We see you. We seek to cultivate authentic relationships and honor our commitments. We respect your sovereignty and right to self-determination. Accordingly, we challenge all who engage with us in our mission of strengthening communities to actively support Native peoples. Embrace their narratives, advocate for equitable opportunities, endorse Native-owned businesses, and honor their lands and waters by being good stewards of the earth. Thank you. We would also like to take this moment to recognize and express our deep gratitude to 3 groups of individuals who serve or have served our community and nation with devotion. If you are an active member or veteran of our armed forces, please stand or raise your hand. If you are a first responder, please stand or raise your hand. And if, like me, you are an elected official, please stand or raise your hand. Thank you all for your dedication and service to our country and community. We are truly honored to have you with us here today. Welcome to the 4th annual Hope is Brewing celebration. We are absolutely excited to be here with you in person. Look at all you. We cannot think of a better way to celebrate our 125th birthday than by spending it with a few hundred of our close friends and supporters. Over 350 of you are in the room today. All of you in this room today help make the work that we do at VOA possible. Again, over 350 of you. You absolutely deserve a round of applause for that. We are also live streaming today's gathering. And to those of you joining us virtually, we see you too. And thank you for your support, time, and energy. And I'm personally, as your MC and storyteller, going to give a special hello to a group of Temple University Japan students who are joining us from Tokyo as we speak. And they're in Saturday already. As we gather this morning to celebrate our organization's birthday and the incredible work that is being done and accomplished, we want to take a moment to acknowledge a significant loss within our VOA family and our community. One of our beloved board members, Stephen Kennedy, passed away on June 24th at the age of 63 years young. Steve was not just a dedicated member of our board, but also a dear friend to many of us in the room. As an unwavering advocate for VOA's mission, he contributed immeasurably to the success of our organization over the years. If there was an opportunity for Steve and his wife, Emma, to serve, who is with us today, they were the first to sign up to volunteer. And though he is no longer with us in person, his passion and commitment to serving others left an indelible mark and on our community and the lives that he touched. He will be greatly missed. Please take a moment with me to honor Steve and reflect on the impact he had and that he made and the inspiration he provided to all of us in the pursuit to be a better, more compassionate world. Thank you for joining us in remembering Steve Kennedy. Let us lift our hearts and carry his spirit with us as we continue our work to support and strengthen our communities in need. Now it is my honor to introduce someone who has been an essential part of the VOA journey for many years. He may be new to this role, but he is certainly not new to our values and our mission. In fact, he has been with us since 2014 when he joined us as a manager of our Disability Services Program. Over the years, he has demonstrated exceptional dedication and leadership, innovating new services, finding unique solutions to challenges we faced, and developing partnerships that we have made immeasurable impacts with in the time that he's been here to serve. Rising through the ranks to become the Senior Director of Disability Services, he later became our Chief Operations Officer, and his journey in this organization reflects his deep commitment to our mission and dedication to making a positive impact on our communities. It is with great pleasure and excitement that we embrace this gentleman's leadership, and we look forward to supporting his vision for the future of VOA Western Washington. Please, one and all, join me in giving a warm welcome to our President and CEO, Brian Smith.
Good morning. This is exciting. 352 of you on our 125th anniversary. Thank you so much for taking the time. This is literally twice the size of our last in-person crowd in 2019, so I'm sure you all did not get a chance to become well acquainted. So just a quick interactive portion so you all get to know each other. If I could have everybody on the left, on my left here, if you could all wave and say hi to everybody on my right, please. Hi. Now everybody on my right, could you please wave at everyone on my left? All right. Now that we're all well acquainted, this is going to go great. All right. Well, thank you again, Steve, and thank you all again for being a part of our mission to serve the most vulnerable in our community. As we reflect on our remarkable journey, we are excited to share that Volunteers of America Western Washington is celebrating its 125th anniversary of dedicated service to the Western Washington community. For well over a century, we have stood as a pillar of hope and support, tirelessly working to uplift the lives of the most vulnerable among us. Our mission to empower people and strengthen communities in need has guided us through generations of challenges and triumphs. At the heart of everything we do are our core values: respect, integrity, stewardship, empathy, and belonging. These principles have not only shaped our organization, but have transformed countless lives along the way. Since our founding, we have been a steadfast ally in the fight against hunger. Through our hunger prevention programs, we have provided nourishment to those facing food insecurity, ensuring that no one in our community goes to bed hungry. Our commitment to our youngest members shines brightly through our child and youth services, definitely our cutest program, nurturing the potential of the next generation and offering them a bright future. In times of crisis, our behavioral health services have been a lifeline for individuals and families, offering support and guidance during their most challenging moments. And our dedication to peaceful resolution has fostered harmony within our community through dispute resolution and mediation initiatives, showing that there is always a path to understanding through clear communication. The compassion we hold for all of our members of our community is evident in our services for developmentally disabled adults and the thriving spaces we've created in our senior centers. Our community resource centers stand as beacons of knowledge, offering a helping hand to those seeking assistance. Amidst these trials and triumphs, one constant has remained: the unwavering commitment of VOA to provide housing services. A safe and stable home is the cornerstone of a healthy community, and we continue to work relentlessly to ensure that every individual has a place to call home. As we celebrate our 125th anniversary, we reflect on the lives we've touched, the communities we've strengthened, and the dreams that we have helped realize. But our journey is far from over. The challenges facing our community persist, and as we look to the future, we need your support now more than ever. And I truly can't understate the need. We truly do need your support, because we would not exist without each and every one of you in the room this morning. So we invite you to join our mission. Together, we can build a healthier and more resilient community, one where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. Thank you for being a vital part of our journey, and here's to 125 years of impact and to the untold number of lives we will transform in the years to come. So please take a moment and enjoy this video. Volunteers of America, from its inception, was rooted in a foundation of faith. We started as a church, and today we exist as a church without walls, with no wrong doors that you can turn when you come to us for service.
Maud and Ballington Booth were the original founders. Ballington Booth was the son of the founder of the Salvation Army. So the name Volunteers of America was a spin-off of the name Salvation Army, because volunteers at the time were soldiers. The wonderful thing about Volunteers of America, I think, is that wherever you are, whatever you see that needs to be done, if you can find a way to do it, you can do it. You don't have to do a certain thing in every single community. The philosophy of Maud and Ballington Booth was to go wherever we are needed and do whatever comes to hand. When Gil and I first came here in 1978, the summer camp was here at the time. The food bank was here. It grew into a larger food bank and also into a series of outreach programs that helped people with education, daycare. Things just grew upon each other as a need shown itself in the community. You start one thing and then you find out that a person's having trouble because. So how do we change the because? How do we fix the because?
The organization has evolved immensely, and that's actually another one of my favorite aspects, is our ability to pivot. It's our ability to identify a need and address it in real time. You know, we've served thousands of refugees fleeing crises from Afghanistan to Ukraine. Early on, we knew there was going to be challenges and decided we were going to be the solution to that challenge. And we had individuals driving down to SeaTac at the airport at 2 in the morning, picking up individuals and placing them into temporary housing with nothing but the clothes on their back, literally. And now they're employed, now they are self-sufficient and starting new lives. Our behavioral health division is by far our largest program. And it started with one person with a vision, and now it's over 200 people, and it is meeting such a critical need in the community. COVID shut down senior centers all across the country, and the Carl Gibson Center was no exception. So when we took over management of that and opened the doors to seniors, you could see the change in people's faces as they came back, you know, the next day and the next day.
I think the most significant thing that any nonprofit organization has to come up with is, of course, how to fund it. It's really important to be able to have some flexibility, because there are many times where you can get a grant from a foundation, government grants, all kinds of things. Oftentimes you are very tied to a certain thing that you can do. And we found that generally, you fix one problem, you come up with another one.
We're going to continue to meet the need, and unfortunately we know the needs are going to keep growing. Mental health is such a struggle for so many individuals, so we want to bolster those supports. We want to make sure that we're there for people when they don't know where to turn, that they can call us and they can find a solution. Affordable housing is harder and harder to come by, especially in the Puget Sound region, and we want to be the solution for that. So in the next 5, 10, 20 years even, you'll see VOA providing those services here in the Puget Sound. There's not a need that we won't meet. You will never be turned away from Volunteers of America. If you are in crisis, if you are hungry, if you are at risk of homelessness, our staff are here. They're passionate, they're dedicated, and they will see those services through.
You will never be turned away from VOA. If you remember nothing from today, remember that. That's why the music was so dramatic. Wow. It is truly remarkable to think of the lives that Volunteers of America Western Washington has touched. Last year alone, we served an astounding 316,000 individuals. And each of those lives represent a story of transformation and hope. And I'm going to up the ante and go off script. Galena, would you mind raising your hand? Dr. Stute, would you mind raising your hand? Between the two of them, they saved a family overnight, last night. Now, as Brian mentioned, we are keenly aware of the need of our community that continues to grow and the challenges that people face that are evolving. The impact of inflation has left many struggling to make ends meet, and our food banks in Everett and Sultan are busier than ever before, surpassing the demand we experienced during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. Between January and August this year, our regional food distribution center in the Arlington Smoky Point area distributed an incredible 7.9 million pounds of food. That's 1.8 million more than all of last year. But VOA is more than just about providing food. We believe in wraparound services and that address the complex need of the individuals and families that we serve. As you saw in the video, when someone comes to us for a service, they're often going to require assistance in other areas of their lives as well. For example, someone coming through the doors at our food bank might also be struggling to pay rent or utility bills, and they may be unable to afford childcare or preschool. That's where our community resource centers throughout Snohomish County come into play. They are the heart of the communities that they serve, and they act as one-stop hubs of support, from providing basic necessities like food, clothing, and shelter to offering assistance with various other resources and programs such as workforce. We want to make sure that our neighbors receive comprehensive support on their journey to stability. With his permission, let's explore the story of Trent, a single father of two. In August, he reached out for support. Yay, that's absolutely crap on that one. He reached out for support. Now, what he wanted to know is if we could help with new tires for his car so he could get back and forth to his job. He was already struggling and making ends meet not easy, and so if a tire blew out, that could be the beginning of the end as he knew it in his mind. Now let's keep in mind he was reluctant to ask for help, but thankfully he overcame that feeling and reached out for help to our Lake Stevens Community Center, and when he arrived, the stress on him and his financial situation was very evident to us. The rising cost of living had left Trent living paycheck to paycheck, like many of us, making it more and more challenging to provide for his daughters. He thought tires were his main concern. However, our support specialist recognized his needs as being much more than that. So together they explored alternative solutions. And get this, after just an hour, a plan was in place to reduce his monthly expenses, including utilities, phone, and car insurance. We were also able to provide school supplies, backpack, and socks. Think about that, socks. And not just socks. Trent mentioned that he was struggling to provide healthy food with the rising cost of grocery prices. And I know many of us in this room know that groceries are costing more and more with every trip to the store. So our staff guided him to the local food bank where he was given emergency food, and then they got him enrolled to come back for the next day's distribution. But it's also more than food. It's about the people we care for so that they can turn around and care for others in their charge. When we learned that Trent's daughters had birthdays back to back and that they were fast approaching birthdays, we offered gifts and wrapping paper, decorations, and a box of cake mix. Birthday parties were a luxury that his girls had not been able to experience for the last few years. So being able to give his daughters something as simple as a birthday celebration meant so much to Trent. And although he didn't leave with the new tires, he did leave with a newfound hope and optimism, knowing he could navigate the challenges he faced, and most importantly, that he didn't have to do it alone. Beyond birthdays and food, there are so many really fundamental needs that are so crucial to the positive, meaningful development. Let's examine one such need. By show of hands, how many of you went to preschool in their youth? Show of hands. Okay, I'm impressed you can remember that far back. How many of you have children or grandchildren who went to preschool or excellent? Now, imagine that resource didn't exist. The growth and learning that happens before little ones get to kindergarten is so critical. In fact, 6 out of 10 children will enter kindergarten unprepared. Children who are able to have some type of pre-K or readiness education are far more likely to succeed in school. This means that their path to secondary and post-secondary education is much more defined. It also means that they're more likely to attend college, which in turn means they are equally as likely to earn more than their peers. Great beginnings are so important. Let's see what one of our ECAP preschool means to one family. Please watch our screens.
When we talk with kindergarten teachers, they let us know that they can really tell which children have or haven't gone to preschool, because the children that have gone to preschool have the social skills to interact with their peers, to ask turns, to be in a circle, to follow the teacher's directions, whereas the children that haven't, when they just go straight into kindergarten, still have to learn those skills. And we know that the social skills are so important for them to learn first, so that by the time they get into elementary school, kindergarten, the teacher can be focusing on academics versus just behavior.
We've seen children go from hiding under a table to be able to come and be a part of the group. A lot of it goes back to those social and emotional skills, but also being able to provide a place where they feel comfortable and safe and secure. They're able to take what they learn at school and bring it home.
Some of the challenge that we face providing good education is mostly financial issue. I'm currently going to school as a full-time student and trying to do some part-time job, night shift job as a nurse assistant. It gives me a chance to go to school while my kid, Sumaya, is having an education. We're receiving a lot of other help, like receiving clothes, diapers. She's receiving everything she needs from the program. And it's been very helpful for not only for her, but for the whole family.
VOA is one of my favorite organizations to work with. I've worked with quite a few different ones. It does set us apart. With having ECAP and this connection with VOA, we're able to offer our families an abundance of more resources.
With our Volunteers of America ECAP program, we are very blessed to have the bigger organization as a support for us also. So we not only are able to offer the children the preschool day, we're able to get these families additional items such as clothes, food boxes, books to take home.
We have some families that are in need of transportation, and so the only reason why the child's able to come to school is because we can pick them up and drop them off.
The bus service has been life-saving for me. Yeah, because I work night shift and I'm going to school with the kid. Like, it was gonna be almost impossible for me to be giving her rides on time, like every day.
Years ago, if I had known that there were things like VOA and ECAP available, that's something that would have made a big difference in my life for me and my daughter at that time. And while I don't need those services now, that is something that I'm grateful that we get to offer our families in the community, especially for children and families who are in harder circumstances and that are needing that support and guidance. And that's where I know we can make a difference, and I've seen it firsthand.
I can only say thank you for everything they are doing. They are giving a chance for our children to have that early education that will help her in the future. Because like, this is the base for them for the rest of their life. And I thank them for that, for giving us that chance.
I got to tell you, yeah. Those smiles on those kids' faces, how can that not warm your heart? I think it's even burning off the fog out there when we roll that up, you'll see. These are, those smiles in particular, they're a powerful reminder of the transformative impact that we are making at VOA. Our amazing teachers and staff, some of whom are here with us today, nurture the potential of 160 students each school year in our classrooms in Everett, Sultan, and Monroe. That's 160 students who are learning not just basic skills and curriculum. They are being supported in gaining bigger skills like emotional regulation, learning to share, expressing themselves, and forming meaningful connections. Some are even finding their voice, quite literally. Some children begin with limited verbal abilities while others are learning English. Imagine, not just learning, but becoming bilingual. What an incredible achievement for 3- and 4-year-olds. Our commitment to this kind of growth and nurturing extends beyond the classroom. We offer comprehensive support services to the students' families as well. We have family support specialists who are dedicated to unearthing any unmet need and being able to provide the necessary resources to foster growth and resilience. We are strengthening households from the inside out. At VOA, our mission reaches beyond education. It's about fortifying families, entire families at that, and building foundations that empower them to not just survive, but to thrive. We understand that not everyone we encounter has the privilege of beginning life with a strong foundation. Some may have even started off with good, solid footing, only to have life's trials erode that stability over time. In the spirit of kintsugi, the revered Japanese art of mending cherished vessels, we aspire to mend and strengthen the fractured pieces within our community. Just as skilled artisans use lacquer and gold to seamlessly reunite broken fragments to highlight that which is no longer broken, our goal is to help individuals discover the beauty and value within themselves and discover opportunities to revive, rebuild, and restore what was once fractured. While we acknowledge that healing from trauma and overcoming complex challenges may not be as straightforward as pottery, our relentless dedication remains the same. We aspire to illuminate the possibilities that reside within each person we serve and shine a light on their path towards a future filled with purpose and potential. All right, folks, we're going to move into some up and down now, a little interaction. So I'm going to need a little help from all of you for this to work. But first, let me make sure I give you the context and a reminder. The context is September is Suicide Prevention Month. The reminder is we have little packs of tissues on the table should you need them or the need arise without you being aware of it on your tables as we speak. So we imagine you could all use a little bit of a stretch in your legs. So if you're able to stand, I ask that you rise and remain standing until you are asked to sit. Thank you all for standing. Your participation illustrates the gravity of a situation we are facing as a society. It emphasizes one of the reasons we are here today and why we're working together to make a difference. Please do look around. You probably know some of the people at your table, and you might have spotted a familiar face from across the room. Please do wave. That's absolutely okay. Hey, I see you. Let's talk afterwards. Now, please take a moment to look at the back of your name badge. Didn't see that coming, did you? If you have a dot sticker that is red or blue, please remain standing. If you do not have a blue or red dot sticker, you may be seated. So, red or blue dot, stay standing. No dot, please sit. For those of you sitting, take a look around. Notice that some of the friends you might have recognized are still standing. Every 26.2 seconds, someone in this nation makes a desperate attempt to end their suffering. For those of you who have not taken your seat, your presence symbolizes the number of individuals who will have taken that frightening step during the short 90 minutes that we'll spend together this morning. If you have a blue dot, nope, stay standing. Simon says, if you have a blue dot, on your name tag, now you may be seated. Every 10.9 minutes, a life is tragically lost to suicide in the United States. Those of you who remain standing represent the 8 people who will have succumbed to this silent epidemic by the time we walk out of this room. These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, sons, daughters, significant others, friends, and neighbors. People young and old, wealthy or not, every color and creed. Suicide does not discriminate. You may have a seat. I think it's important for you to know those 8 standing were all part of VOA. We did not surprise anyone. So keep in mind, we understand where you might be, but thank you for participating. Because there is good news. And that good news is straightforward. It's hope. Hope in the form, in our case, of crisis counselors who are on standby 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, 66 in a leap year. They are heroes who answer the phone call or a text during people's darkest moments. They are impassioned to guide those who feel lost or broken or alone. Guide them towards a spark of hope that can light their way out of the darkness. Their training and commitment have saved lives. Now let's learn a little bit more about the incredible work that they do. Please turn your attention to the screens as we take a deeper dive into the life-saving efforts of our behavioral health team.
Please don't do it.
Danny Jablonski was alone with his thoughts this spring,
All I saw was darkness.
recalling how his estranged mother never agreed with his lifestyle.
It's all up here.
When she died, he was suddenly overcome with feelings of
Shame, guilt, everything started to flow forth.
a mental health crisis ensued.
I had separated from my job. I had quit school.
And while Googling suicide, he saw an ad for a phone number he recognized, 988.
I had heard about it on television.
So the 58-year-old reached out using their chat function.
I was talking to them like literally almost every morning. They kept diverting me. They literally were my best friends because I was so lonely at the time.
But a plan eventually materialized.
He just kept saying, please don't do it, please don't do it, please don't do it. And I hit in chat and drove down here, pulled the car here. I saw the southbound train coming. Thought about what the guy from 988 said, Danny, don't do it. And I just turned the key on, backed the car up, and I guess it's not gonna be today.
Now he says he has a new job
I have a totally new direction in my life.
and a new outlook on life.
So much has changed just 1 month.
The King 5 segment that we were just watching is a really good indication of how 988 is impacting the community and the changes that have happened with the implementation of 988 over the past year. Some of the things that we've been able to do is expand our services tremendously, offering 988 chat and text for the entire state. We cover much of the state for 988 phones, and we're also participating on a national level, backing up 988 for chat and text, and then specifically for the LGBTQI+ subnetwork.
As a chat and text crisis counselor, I have people who will either text in or come through the internet when they are distressed, having suicidal thoughts, feeling overwhelmed, or just need someone to talk to. Earlier this year, King 5 ran a story about what we do here at the Crisis Line, and I was one of the counselors who spoke with this individual. I believe there are a few counselors who spoke with him. I was one of the few that did speak with him, and then the news story came out. Seeing that makes me very happy, knowing that we are making a difference in people's lives. You don't hear a lot about what happens after the calls, very, very rarely. And so being able to see that it affected him, it helped him, and it saved his life is pretty incredible.
At Volunteers of America, we are seen as a leader across the country as a crisis contact center for our work on phones, chat, and text. We continually develop new methods to approach our interventions and our support of people out in the community. Something that was a first in Washington State is the Native and Strong Lifeline, an Indigenous specific crisis line. We are constantly looking to improve our quality, our training, and bring in new ways of doing things or new approaches so that we are continually offering the best possible intervention to those that are in really vulnerable crisis situations and need help and support.
People are really, really struggling just with the state of the world or anything really. And so just having someone always there that you can reach out to is super important and helpful for people.
We want individuals that are having a hard time or struggling or going through crisis to know BOA is a place that I can go and get the help that I need, I'll get the support I need, and they'll be there with me through this process until I'm able to move on from whatever's happening or get to a better place.
I know what it's like to not have anyone to talk to and just need someone to tell you, hey, it'll be okay. Even just that statement can be very, very effective. Every single counselor has had people tell them, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for listening. I've just been affected by suicide in different ways, whether it's people that I know, people that I don't know, but I know that there's always hope, and I just want to spread that message to people.
Well, I realize that the exercise of standing up and looking at your dots might have been emotionally taxing or difficult to do, and it is. It is important to acknowledge the challenges that our neighbors and our communities are facing, but it's equally important to acknowledge that there is hope, that there is a resource out there, that this resource can save lives and is saving lives. The work being done by our dedicated behavioral health program is nothing short of incredible. Last year alone, our counselors answered nearly 119,000 phone calls and engaged in over 44,000 online chats and texts. That's 163,000 times our neighbors reached out when they felt like they couldn't go on. Countless lives were saved, and hope was renewed for them. As I think about the incredible work of VOA Western Washington, I am constantly in awe and so grateful that I get to be a part of making such a positive impact in our community. Hundreds of thousands of people in our community are served every year, individuals from all walks of life, all ages, and all circumstances. Today you've heard about just a few of our programs, but there's more to our story than we can cover in just an hour, but we're gonna try. There's hunger prevention, feeding over 85,000 individuals in our food banks and pantries in Everett and Sultan. Housing services ensures stable homes for more than 6,500 households through rental assistance and providing stability to homeless women and children at our shelter. We help facilitate peaceful resolution to conflict through our dispute resolution and mediation services. And personal support services sees to it that adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities live safe and fulfilling lives that foster independence and enhance self-esteem. And then there's our senior programs. I'm sure you saw the smiling faces at the Carl Gibson Center, where some of our seniors enjoy knitting, playing cards, playing billiards, and staying active in Cora's famous workout classes. We hope you'll be encouraged to learn more about VOA and the programs we couldn't feature here today. If you're interested in seeing our mission in action, we would love to invite you to tour any one of our programs. So we respect your time, and we're committed to wrap up on schedule this morning. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our next and final speaker. She joined the board of VOA Western Washington early this year, but has been a longtime supporter and advocate for our work. Kirsten is a branch manager with Coastal Community Bank, so please join me in giving Kirsten a warm welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I am the final speaker. What an incredible way to start our day. Reflecting back on what we've heard this morning, I want to draw your attention to something that Jessica shared in the amazing video about the ECAP preschools. She said, years ago, if I had known that there were things like VOA and ECAP available, that is something that would have helped make a big difference in my life for me and my daughter. If Jessica had known. Jessica's words remind us that our mission is not about providing assistance, not just about providing assistance. It's about changing lives and creating opportunities. It's about a better tomorrow and giving hope. We often hear that Western Washington VOA is the best kept secret in Snohomish County. But right here, today, we have the power to change that. We don't want to be a secret. We want everyone in our community to know that VOA is a place to turn when you're in need. It's a place to serve your community through meaningful volunteer opportunities. It's the place to partner when you want your dollars to make a significant and lasting difference in the community where you live. At Volunteers of America Western Washington, there is a place for everyone, and that includes all of you. We need your help. We need your voice. We hope that today you leave here feeling moved, maybe even changed, by the stories you've heard and the impact that this organization has made over the last 125 years. Now we have a humble request for each and every one of you. We ask that you not keep this morning, this incredible experience to yourselves. Share what you've learned today. Share what has inspired you, and encourage others in our community to learn more and get involved. Be the catalyst for the change by spreading the word about VOA and the vital work that we do. Going a step further, will you consider this morning making a financial contribution today to support our mission? If you find yourself inspired to give, please fill out a donation card that's at your place setting. The decision to make a gift is a decision to leave a chance for stability and opportunity for hundreds of thousands of people that we help each year. Your generosity will enable us to keep providing the essential services that you've heard about this morning, expanding outreach, and helping more individuals like Danny and the families like Trent and Dim Candias. Every dollar you donate goes a long way in making a difference in the lives of those in need. The completed forms can be placed in the envelope and given to your table captains. If you prefer to donate online, there is a QR code. Simply scan that with the camera on your phone, and it will take you to an online giving form. We also have staff available at the table in the back if you prefer to give by debit or credit card today. I'm going to go ahead and give you a moment to go ahead and fill those out. And then we have a little bit of exciting news. You are all winners in this room, but there is one particular winner. So go ahead and fill those out, and I'll be right back. All right, thank you so much for doing that. Go ahead and if you haven't finished, please finish. So I have a very exciting gift here for someone in this room. A wonderful sponsorship from Alaska Airlines. And I believe it is 2 tickets to just about anywhere you want to go that Alaska flies. So, that being said, is Clarence Shaw in the room? It's not a joke. You win. Not what you were thinking this morning, right? Now you guys will all be back next year because you never know what you're going to get. Okay, so we want to honor everyone's time. So as we conclude this morning, our time together, let's remember that together we have the power to transform lives, to uplift our community, and to ensure that VOA Western Washington is not a secret, but a beacon of hope for all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your dedication and your belief in our mission. Together we can achieve remarkable things. Thank you again for being here. Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend.